little bit more, so that's almost the thickness of the wire. Right, so I'm using 1 mil wire, which is basically the kind of wire that I said to get for you guys. So I'm using more than we need. It's just for demonstration purposes. Right, just cutting a bit off. And as you can see, because it's been coiled up and it's been sort of knocked about a little bit, so it's not straight, is it? And if you work with non-straight wire, you never get a nice even coil. It will sort of be buckled and a little bit uneven and just look rubbish basically. So we need to straighten this wire, get this really nice and straight first. So what we do is we put it with one end in the vise really securely. That end you can basically have to cut off afterwards because the vise sort of marks it quite a lot. And then if it's thin wire like this, parallel pliers are enough. If you've got thicker wire that's harder to work with, we've got really thick, really strong pliers next door that are specifically for wire work, but we won't need them for this piece. So I use the parallel pliers, grab the end, and then hold this really securely and yank it once.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
And it's straight.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that's how you straighten wire. It's basically one quick yank, and there it is.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So and now it has a little bit of tension, but it's not too much tension for us to work with. We don't have to anneal it at this point. It's not too too hard. So and then I'm just going to basically just fold it over in just in the middle, and I put the 2 loose ends in the vise again. Make sure that this is really the same length, and not one end is longer than the other. Right, yeah. So that's great. And then I usually just use the handle of one of the little mini files because it's handy, and just put it in here, and then start twisting. And then you can do that for as long as you like, and basically until you've reached the twist tightness that you want. So if I go by that, I've got a bit of a way to go. And you can see while you're doing that, I always pull at the same time, because if I don't pull, this sort of all starts to bunch up a little bit in the middle. So I'm pulling while I'm twisting. I'm keeping it under tension while I'm twisting, so I get a nice even and straight twisted wire in the end. If you have a really long thing that you want to make, if let's say you want to make, I don't know, 20 or 30 of these, and you want to twist a whole long length of wire, this can take a long time. What you can do is you can use one of these little hand drills, you know, the little hand ones. Clamp this bit into the front of the hand drill and just do this, and that will twist this in no time. So that's another way of doing it, but this is the easy and quick way by hand, because we're basically just doing a short bit. So we're getting close now to the twist that we want. So I'd say we're pretty much there. I'm still pulling while I'm twisting. Right. So I think that's a nice bit of twisted wire. And this is now quite springy because we've put it under quite a bit of stress, but that's all right. Now, we could now theoretically just cut the length off that we need to go around our ring. However, if you just have 2 pieces of wire that are wrapped around each other, once you cut them, they can theoretically unravel again, because all there are 2 coils that are wrapped around each other with nothing holding them. So what I normally do is, when I've done this, I take them to the soldering room and place a few tiny bits of solder strategically on here, so maybe every 3 centimeters. Obviously I borax the whole thing first, so keep the borax thin, so the borax sort of works its way in between the little twists, and then I place a few bits of solder every few centimeters, heat the whole thing up, and when the solder starts running, it works its own way between your wires and holds the wire together securely. And then this is a solid twist that you can work with. And then you can basically cut the length you need. However, if you already have made the ring like Jana has, and now you can't get that off. Okay. So what you can then do is once you've secured this, you just wrap it around until it overlaps. Mark it where it overlaps, cut it off, and then you've got it in the right length. Yeah, does that make sense?
It looks quite nice with the copper on the silver.
Yeah.
Does it, if you did the copper rather than the silver wire,
Yeah.
it wouldn't make the silver go a funny colour?
No, it's just this would go dull really quickly because it won't stay that colour. Copper copper oxidizes really quickly, and because it's a moving part, even if you were to lacquer the copper, it will wear off really quickly.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's how you make a nice piece of twisted wire, and the rest makes sense, doesn't it? The soldering and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.